everybody's wrong. Rewrote the song, thoughts become action. Tell me what's happening. What's your mind wrapped in? Wrapped around, wrapped around, wrapped around.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Nassif here from Click, and today I'm going to be doing the full review and giving my kind of final verdict on the Blu Vivo 5. Now, basically what I'm going to go through today, I'm going to talk about the main things that people basically look for. I'm not going to get into specs and processors and shit. I'm just going to get into build, the screen, the battery, the camera, the speaker, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the USB-C port, and then anything else that I kind of think of as I go along here. So basically, let's get into it now. So the first thing that you're going to notice when you pick up this phone is the build. Now, the build on this phone is fantastic. It honestly reminds me of an iPhone-esque build. Now, the back of the phone here is still very slightly curved. You can kind of feel it in your hand. It fits nicer in your hand than it's just a straight flat phone. So yeah, I mean, in terms of build, you have the chamfered edges here. You got a metal unibody design. You have the Gorilla Glass on the front. And it's a fantastic build overall. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. When you pick this phone up, you're not going to think that it costs $300. You're going to think that it was somewhere along the lines of $600 to $700. So again, that's always a win, especially when you're out. People don't know Blu, the company Blu. So you know your phone's just sitting on the table, and someone's like, "Oh, what's that? Is it the new iPhone?" Something like that. So it's kind of cool to have. And while we're talking about kind of just the phone itself and build and whatnot, I figured I'd talk about the case. Now, I had an issue with the case when it shipped and it was delivered. The top is so I don't know if the camera will. The camera's showing it there. The case is bent itself. I don't know what that's from. Maybe that's a manufacturer defect or it's just damaged in the box from shipping. So I got to get in touch with Blu and get this thing replaced. Most likely not going to be using it, but you pay $300 for it. You expect the case to be in proper shape. So I'll show you what the case looks like on here and give you kind of just quick impressions of it. Let's see here. So it's on now. If you watch the Skinomi Tech Skin review, I'll have that link in the description. You'll know that there's no kind of issue with the case going on. Now, when the case is on, because it's bent, you can kind of feel the deformations here along the back of the phone, and you can kind of see it on the top here. I'll show you on the camera again. The top here is just a little bit bent out of shape, so it is what it is. But in terms of the buttons feel great. The volume up and nice and tactile. The case doesn't make them feel mushy or anything. You got all your cutouts. You got your USB-C, you got your speaker, and you got your microphone. You got your camera or your headphone jack cutout up here. You got your camera, LED flash cutout, and microphone cutout here. So that's pretty much it in terms of the build and the case. Both are really good, and it definitely doesn't feel like a $300 phone. So the next thing I really want to talk about here is the screen. Now, when I got the phone and I saw that it was just 720p, and oh man, I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be the AMOLED screens from Blu are good, but it's not gonna blow me away, and I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, the screen is fantastic. But to be honest, guys, this screen rocks. Like, there's no, I can't see the pixels from a normal viewing distance. Obviously, if I bring the screen up to here, you're gonna be able to see the pixels very slightly, but I'm talking in terms of just normal everyday use, and I gotta say, this phone is just fantastic for screen, and everything looks nice and sharp. The colors are nice and vivid here. I don't know if there's anything in photos here. Looks like nothing. So just in terms of the colors, you can see as I'm kind of just blowing through the software here. The colors and stuff, they're nice and accurate. The blacks are nice and inky deep on the phone as well. So it's a fantastic screen. And I would say it's even, because I have, let's get the Vivo Air on deck here. Let's try and see, I don't know if it's powered on or not. So you'll just see here as the Vivo Air powers up. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but the Vivo 5 screen seems to be, it must be an updated panel, or they're using some new technology in it. Because the colors and stuff, they look much more vivid and vibrant on the Vivo 5 compared to the Air LTE here. But that's not to say that the Air LTE has a bad screen. It's just not as vivid as the oh, that's loud. But yeah, it's not as vivid or as bright as the Vivo 5 screen here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just all I wanted to say about the screen. It's a decent screen again for 720p. And for like watching YouTube and stuff, it's 5.5-inch display. So it's gonna look great when you're watching videos and whatnot. So next up, I wanted to talk about the battery. Now the battery ties in with the with the screen itself, I don't think I have any battery stats on here. Yeah, because I have the phone rebooted and reset and I refreshed it. So that's my mistake. But I think from reporting and from usage of the phone, I've been getting very, very good battery stats. Like I'm getting 4.5 to 5 hours of screen on time with a moderate to heavy usage day. Now, obviously, that's because the panel is only 720p, and but I mean, whatever. It is what it is. 720p is not a big deal, and on top of that, you're getting, you get perks as well as with the 720p screen. It's not just downsides. So the battery is fantastic. I mean, you're gonna have no issues with battery, no matter how heavy of a user you are. This phone is gonna take you from morning to night, no problem. And I mean, if you're the type who doesn't want to charge their phone at night, or you feel like you don't need to, it's probably going to last you for 3/4 of the next day, or even if you're a light user, it'll get you through 2 days. So yeah, I mean, battery life's fantastic in terms of usage for my usage, and I mean, I consider myself a fairly heavy user. So next up, we'll talk a little bit about the speaker here. So let's go into some YouTube. We'll get into some non-copyright sounds so you don't get booked by the copyright police. All right, let's see here what they got here. I'll listen to this song. It sounds pretty sick. All right, yeah. So we're gonna be taking a look at this Clash Royale ad. No, I'm just right now taking a look at the Clash Royale ad. So I'll let this play, and I'll give you my impressions of the speaker after I get maximum volume. Pause this here. It's been playing for a bit. All right, so we're gonna pause that. So yeah, basically, I mean, in terms of the speaker, it's I don't know how to describe it here. It's not like boom sound. There's no way in hell that it's gonna be like a boom sound speaker. Mostly because it's bottom firing, and again, it is a budget phone. So, but in terms of its overall loudness, it gets fairly loud. I feel like it'll do most people fine, especially if you're like going out for runs and stuff. You have it in your pocket, you have your music on full blast. I think it'll do fine. In terms of the sound stage, now the low ends is lacking just a tad. You can hear them, but they're not as punchy as again boom sound. But I mean, you're comparing, a $300 phone to a $700 phone, $800 phone. So I think the speaker does well for what it is. It's definitely better than the Vivo Air LTE, because the Vivo Air LTE the speaker is just really tinny. It's actually pathetic how tinny the speaker is. This one you get a little bit more bass. The mids are very good. The highs are hit well, and they're not piercing, so they don't mess up you. They don't mess you up when you're listening to songs with high pitches and whatnot. So that'll bring me to the next thing I want to talk about, and it's just the software itself. Now, honestly, all I can say is this thing flies. It feels like it feels like a Samsung phone in terms of how fast it flies. So, I mean, it's got 3 gigs of RAM. I think it's 64, 32 gigs internal. Let's see, I should give that a check here. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the way the phone runs, as you can see here, I'm blowing through this. Yeah, 32 gigs. So I'm blowing through the software, and it's not giving me any kinds of hiccups at all. There's no issues with loading apps. There's no issues with switching between apps and stuff, so I need to go back to the phone, or if I need to go back into settings, everything's here. Everything's nice and fast. Everything's nice and smooth. The animations are nice and smooth. So yeah, I mean, I have no issues with this build. And on top of that, I think it's only running Lollipop. So I mean, I can't wait for that Marshmallow update to come out. Let's actually check on camera to see if it's here or not. It's not here yet, but Blue has promised to include that Marshmallow update for the Vivo 5. So man, I honestly can't wait for it. This phone's gonna fly when it gets that Marshmallow update. So next up, I want to talk about the camera. Now, I mean, the camera, I think it's a 13 megapixel camera on the back with the normal LED flash, and we'll just see what I got here. I'll just take a picture of my whip here as it tries to drive away. So let's take a quick picture of that. Alright, so I mean, in terms of, let's get the, where's the auto rotate here? So put this aside. I'll take a look here at the picture now. Now, in terms of the camera, it's a good camera, definitely better than what you would expect for a budget phone. But as you zoom in here, maybe the camera's not picking it up, but you do get a little bit of graininess and a little bit of pixelation. But I think overall, just for snapping, like for me, for my camera usage, I'm just an Instagram photo taker. I don't take pictures for, you know, professional use or anything like that. So I mean, just overall, in terms of just the cameras itself, they're gonna do you fine. They're a great camera. But if you're looking for, like, you know, DSLR replacement, don't look here, because you're not gonna find it. And you're not gonna find it on even just the let's kick the exposure just a little bit here, a little bit too dim for my liking. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna find a DSLR replacement camera on the market right now. So that's that. Just want to trying to think if I want to talk about anything else. I think I pretty much covered everything. I wanted to talk a little bit about the USB-C port. Now, I was skeptical at first, mostly because I hate changing my wires around. I hated when Apple changed from the 30 pin to the 8 pin. But I mean, everyone's kind of grown into it now. I would say everyone's got, you know, the 8 pin adapters and connectors and whatnot. So I think this USB-C thing, it's going to take a little bit longer than it did for Apple to catch on with their 8-pin connector, just because it's Android and not every manufacturer is going to include it. But it's nice to see that Blu included it. The charging times with USB-C are just, it blows, you know, micro USB way out of the park. And in terms of file transfer speed and stuff, it's like there's no comparison. Micro USB just sucks USB-C's ass. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the review. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about, and basically everything that you know, I guess an average consumer would consider important for when they're buying a phone. Now, my final verdict on the phone: should you buy it? If you're looking for something that doesn't break the bank, but it gives you a flagship-like experience in terms of the build, the software, the camera, the main things, then definitely pick this one up, man. For $320, this phone just, honestly, it's fantastic. I've had no issues with it at all. Like, I know with, like, the Pure XL, I was like, oh, I wish, like, you know, the capacitive buttons on the Pure XL, they're a little bit iffy to touch. You know, just the small things. But with this phone, I don't have anything really to say. I mean, other than the speaker, but that's because I'm used to the boom sound. But yeah, I mean, the video's getting on a little bit. We like to talk a lot here on Click. But yeah, I mean, overall, I would say if you're looking for a phone that is a fantastic phone, but you're not looking to spend $1,000 to get a decent phone, then the Blu Vivo 5 is definitely something to pick up. And I feel like you would enjoy it if you did pick up the phone. So I think that's pretty much it. I covered everything I wanted to talk about. I'll have the link in the description for the unboxing of this phone if you want to check that one out, and I'll have the link as well to actually buy the phone. Now, in terms of buying the phone, Amazon has limited stock in the Canadian store, I guess. Because I mean, every time I go to check, it's out of stock, or it's, you know, it ships in 3 to 5 weeks. So if you're gonna buy it, don't expect it to arrive anytime soon, because this one did take, I think it was 2.5 weeks for it to arrive. So, but I mean, that it is what it is. It's not a big deal. So basically, that's pretty much it. If you like this video, if you like the review, feel free to drop a like on it. And if you like the content that's on the channel, feel free to drop a sub for us. It definitely helps us out, and we're enjoying our little community that we got going on over here on Click. It's pretty cool to see it all happening before our eyes. If you think anyone would enjoy this video, or if they're looking to pick up a new budget phone or something, feel free to share it to them. Maybe this will kind of change their mind in terms of what they were going to buy. Maybe they were going to buy something else, and now they'll be picking up the Vivo 5. That would be pretty sick if that happens. And yeah, I mean, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, if you have any questions about the phone or anything you wanted me to check for you guys, or anything I missed in the video, feel free to drop a comment down below in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So this has been Nasif from Click, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.